Patrick Cook here. Welcome to session number 32 of our Mandelbulb3D Epic Rendering tutorial series. In the last session, I was just showing you where to go download this Fiji, F-I-G-I, J-I, sorry, F-I-J-I, and what you're looking, and it's called ImageJ. What you're looking to do is to download either your Windows 64-bit or 32-bit, depending upon what your needs are. Now, once it's downloaded and you placed it on your computer somewhere, you can proceed to merge. Now, before we leave this area here, you're going to be able to get to some installation instructions. All right, some troubleshooting. This is a public domain, they call it. So you could look at the source code, possibly even modify the source code if you really needed to, and if you had the tools and the capability to do that. All right, so here's where you're going to be able to get some information about how to utilize. Now, I am only interested in one plugin of this ImageJ for the purposes of merging our tiles together. This Fiji has a lot of different downloads, plugins they call them, and you can do a lot of image manipulation with it. So you might want to explore it a little bit further than where I'm going to take it. Let's talk about merging. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to clean up my screen a bit here. We don't need this anymore. If I close this, I can reopen the Big Render tool and all of my settings will reappear. But I do have a successful merge out here, so I'm not thinking that I'm going to have to remerge anything. But let me just sidetrack a little bit here. Let's say, for instance, this particular image, okay, where I have my mouse pointer. Let's just say that didn't come out well, and I want to re-render it. Here's basically what I would do. You notice here that I have an X02 for the coordinate. All right, right in the file name, X02 and Y04. All right, so X02 would be right here, and Y04 would be right here. All right, now that is somewhat consistent with my setup. It would be the third to the last, right? Third to the last. All right? So if that image right there, if you felt that it was damaged in the render, you can re-render just that one tile. And now let me show you how. Okay, let me show you how. What you would do is you would find the tile that you want to re-render, right mouse click on it, and then we get two options. We can either render this tile again, in which case it would overwrite the tile that we had, or if you want to be a little bit cleaner about it, you could delete that tile first and then re-render it. I'm not going to do it because that render was pretty good, but I do want to show you that you can re-render a specific tile simply by right mouse clicking on that tile and then deciding what you want to do. Okay? And that'll even tell you the tile coordinate right there. So our X02 and Y04, right click on it, there it is right there. Okay, X2 and X4. So that's how you go about re-rendering an individual tile that you suspect didn't render quite well, or you just want to make absolutely sure. If you re-render a tile, an individual tile, be careful that you haven't changed anything up here. All right, let's proceed with the rendering. I'm going to close this. I'm going to get this out of our way for the moment. Okay, we don't really need to see all of that. We don't really need to see Mandelbulb either, but I'm not going to actually shut it down. I'm just going to move it out of our view. All right, so here we go. So we have I've started the ImageJ, and what we're this is our interface. Okay, now most of everything that you can do with this is built into plugins. Massive amount of plugins. When I first I went looking for a merging tool that would handle the Mandelbulb style of merging our tiles. And I had to find something, as I've explained, that didn't get into requiring the overlap between the tiles. Those are called, in order to produce what are called control points to figure out how to merge or stitch these files together. And I also didn't want something that tried to do all that parallax error for me. And I looked high and low, and I finally found this Fiji ImageJ. Now that ImageJ has a lot of different plugins, and you can have a really good time with this, and it's well worth the price of getting this thing. And there is no price. You can donate, and I think I will donate. I think it's been, I think I've shown myself that this is a very good tool to have on my system. But let's focus on the merging of the Mandelbulb tiles. So if you go to plugins and you go down here to stitching, you want grid collection stitching. I'm going to choose that, all right, and I'm going to get this interface right here, all right. Now, a couple things. Let me get my Windows Explorer back up here. Let's just drop down to details here so we can see the file names. It's key to remember. This was very confusing. To be honest with you, the documentation is not really all that great. They tried to explain how to do this in the online. Let's see if I can find it again here. There we go. In the online Learn ImageJ Basics. Okay, all in here, and then you can drill down to where you finally find this grid column stitching. All right, and it was confusing, and it took a while, and it took me, I don't know, a dozen tries before I finally figured all the details out. So hopefully this is really going to make your life a lot easier, what I'm about to show you. Now, this has got a lot of capabilities of merging. We are interested in file defined position right here. File defined position. And the reason that we want that is because Mandelbulb has actually defined the position with this X01 and this X02, for example. So it has defined the position for us. And what we're doing here is we're telling the ImageJ plugin to look for the tile positions within the file name. So that's all you got to do there. All right. So on this screen, file defined position. Okay. Now, all right. So here's our configuration to begin the merging. We know we have a grid size on the horizontal of 4. We know we have a grid size on the Y of 4. There's our 16 tiles. I'm going to route this down to 0. Tile overlap percentage. What's cool about this ImageJ is that it can do stitching a panoramic. It can do that. It can work with overlapped tiles, and it can figure out all those control points to figure out how those tiles will merge together. In that sense, you could use this tool also for true panoramic photography. But we're not interested in any type of overlap because we don't have any overlap. All right, so I dial that down, and while I'm here, I'm going to come down to this option, Compute Overlap. I want to turn that off. I'll turn it off. All right. I'm obviously going to be starting my stitching on the first tile in the X and the first tile in the Y. All right, so let's end this session right here. Come on right back. We'll pick it up and we'll go down through here and we'll punch the merge button. I'll see you in the next session.